Hi, and welcome along to a brand new episode of the Arsenal Way. I'm Ashwin, and he's Samrit. He's back this week, like I told you. He's out for work. Uh, Interesting week, Samrit. Just before I get into it, before I get into all these questions, let's just talk about where you can find us and how you can get to us. We are present on YouTube, the Arsenal Way. There's a small red icon below, next the bell icon next to the subscribe button, so you can hit it every time we come out of the video. Our socials, we are on Facebook, The Arsenal Away, and Twitter, The Arsenal Away. So please like, share, and comment, and subscribe to our channel. So, like I said, interesting week. I think you missed the game against Sheffield where we drew 1-1, and then coming off to last night's game where. Even though it was a draw, it felt more like a win because I think the situation where we were down to 10 men and played for more than half the game. I think we played for about 64 minutes with 10 men and managed to play away and come back two times and not lose the game was a big thing for us because usually teams in the past, whether it was under Wenger or whether it was under Emery, we would have probably gone there. Had it been 10 men, we'd have probably lost 4-5, maybe 6-1 because that's happened to us in the past. We've gone down to 10 men before and lost heavily. So yesterday, everybody in the team showed fighting spirit. Everybody showed a character that we've not seen. We don't know if that's down to Arteta doing that or if it's down to players responding to a new manager or just wanting to play now for Arteta and wanting to fight for the badge. Another interesting thing is that we had a lot of youngsters. Arteta has been putting his trust in a lot of youngsters recently, and they've been stepping up. I think when you were not here, I was talking about who's going to cover Aubameyang's goals now that he's got a red card and that he's been missing 3 games. And 2 games in, we've got 2 goals from Martinelli, so things are looking good. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think it's been the last 3 games have just been draws. Sheffield, Palace, and now Chelsea.
We've had
Just
12
I was just
draws.
looking. Yeah, I was looking at the table. We've won 6, drawn 12, and lost 6. The last time we drew 12 games, we went unbeaten.
That's
So
not happening.
it's yeah, well, it's just to your point on whether they're playing for each other, I think there's definitely there because, like as you rightly said, teams in the past have gone down to 10 minutes away to the big guns have invariably folded very very quickly. Um, but that resilience was shown by the team, that spirit and character that we've always demanded of Emery's teams over the last year and a half was there to everybody's surprise, I think, because I don't think anyone expected us to come away with the draw, especially after going down to going down to 10 men. Everyone from the point blank save Zeno had to make to the diving save he had to make from was it Barkley's header in the second half to Xhaka filling in as centre half, who's just been outstanding since Arteta's come in, and I'm glad he's finally getting some praise because he's just quietly got on with his job. A lot of people who on the Arsenal group that we're on have just not said anything positive about him, which is, I guess, quite vindication for me as well, because I've always been a supporter of his, because I think he brings a lot more to the team than just those odd occasional passes that go astray, which invariably get highlighted because they lead to goals. But Xhaka has been brilliant. Martinelli, I mean, what a find! How many times can you? I mean, how often do you find gems like Martinelli who just play without fear, without any sort of baggage, just play like they've just really enjoying the game. And I hope it continues. It's been good for us. Pepe looked good yesterday as well. Lacazette, for all his lack of goals, is just running like a madman right throughout. Um, so yeah, no, good signs. Bellerin was back again, played the full 90 minutes. Got a good. People are saying it was Kepa's mistake. I thought it was a beautifully placed goal. Kepa was out of reach. I don't think he would have he didn't get to it at all. Not even with full length dive. Um, And yeah, I think great win, and just showed that it's a slow curve. It'll take a while for Arteta to really put his mark, but you can see very clearly signs of development. He just lost one game, drawn quite a few, but very clear signs of how he wants the team to play. And hopefully, this is just a blueprint of him, how the team will play over the next season at least. Now that I'm pretty sure that we won't get relegated, I think we'll have time to uh, implement this philosophy a lot more as the time progresses.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned about Xhaka is like a lot of times he doesn't get the respect that he's or the credit that he's due. We keep slagging him off, and you mentioned everybody in the group talking about how Xhaka does this and how Xhaka does that. But when he puts in performances like he's been doing recently under Arteta, nobody seems to be talking about it, or nobody seems to be wanting to give him praise where it's due. But yesterday when we lost Luis and he slotted in at centre back, he looked like a central defender. Like he didn't put a step wrong. And okay, fine. I know Mustafi's error led to the penalty plus Luis being sent off. But I think apart from that error, he had a phenomenal game as well. Very easily, he could have probably lost his confidence after what happened, and his head could have fallen. I mean, his head could have fallen, and completely lost the whole situation there. But he didn't let that happen. He continued. He played really well. So there are positive signs as well. Like if Arteta can improve and keep the scores from not going like 4-5 with Xhaka, who's a makeshift centre back, and Mustafi, who's like one of our worst centre backs, and with like we've got Maitland-Niles. I mean, not Maitland-Niles. Okay, Bellerin was back, but Bellerin is coming back after a year, and you got Saka, who's not really a left back, with a makeshift defense who've not really played together till yesterday. If he can keep a team like Chelsea quiet, and he can work with these guys, positive signs. I'm excited. I know the season's already gone. Like, I hope we don't get relegated, but yeah, the season's already gone. It was an extension of Arteta having a summer. I mean, the period between. Preseason, like an extended preseason for him to see what he can do with the players and see what players that are required and what he needs to fill in his team with for next season, right? So that's our aim for this season. Should only be about the FA Cup and going as far as we can, or probably try winning the Europa League, because that's all we can fight for right now. There was something about Lacazette that I want to talk about. I know he's been getting a lot of slack for not scoring goals, and for a 55 million striker, not getting. I think the last time he scored a goal was probably 2 months ago. I don't remember the last time he scored a goal. And there were worrying signs because Ali, who came on the show a couple of episodes ago, was tweeting about it, saying that he was at the last home game, and during the warm up, he saw Lacazette taking shot after shot after shot, and he didn't hit the target once. And every time he did that, Lacazette got more and more frustrated with himself, and you could see that clearly. Even in the warm ups, he was not being able to hit the target. Now the same thing. Just before the Chelsea game started last night, one of the journalists, a verified journalist on Twitter, tweeted saying that he's watching Lacazette in training, and Lacazette is taking shots, and he's not converting a single shot on target. So I think this is now reached a point where he's so frustrated that it's affecting. It's affecting his overall game for him not scoring. But even though yesterday, there was a moment yesterday where he was played through on goal by Pepe. And even though it was offside, he actually converted that. But as a striker, that must have felt good, because for the first time, he's actually seeing the ball hit the back of the net, even though it didn't count. But it must have made him feel good, and it must have calmed down some sort of nerve. So I'm hoping that if not this Monday, at least by the week after, he should probably get back his goal scoring form. Or maybe he just needs something like how Aubameyang, the year he joined, when we won that penalty, and instead of Aubameyang getting his hat-trick, he actually gave the ball to Lacazette to get his confidence up and to go. He probably needs something like that. So even though he's not scoring goals, but his contribution where he's holding up the ball and getting people involved has been good, which is what Arteta has been talking about as well. So positive signs, great things for great things in terms of um, like we spoke about how Aubameyang's goals need to be shared while he's not there, even though that's not really happening. But you can still see that Pepe, for from whatever he was from the start of the season, there's been a massive improvement in him as well. And I think, like you mentioned, this can be a blueprint for us to play the way that Arteta wants to play and start taking teams from here. It'll be great for the team's confidence and it'll boost them because we managed to go away to Stamford Bridge and not lose with 10 men and come back 2 times, which has been great.
You're right. I think the confidence and the character will definitely build. Just coming back to your point on Mustafi, I think he's untrainable. There now it's under 3 different managers that he's worked under: Wenger, Emery, and now Arteta, and he keeps making the same mistake. It was again a brain fade that pretty much brought us down 10 men. And while I understand he had a better game, but it irks me that this guy is a World Cup winner, and maybe he didn't play in the World Cup as much, but the fact that he got called up to the German national team shows that there was some level of confidence there in him. And it's just surprises me that I think Arteta understands that he's picking him more out of necessity than out of choice. Socrates out, Chambers out, Holding still not recovered. So it's just him and Luis that are actually fit as of yesterday. Um, I think Socrates and Luis has been doing decently as well. Um, so I don't know. I think it'll be very hard to find buyers for Mustafi in the summer. Whoever it is, it just these performances just would make buyers question whether he's even worth the amount of money that they're investing in him. Um, and thing is that every player who's come onto the pitch ever since Arteta has come on has visibly improved outside of Lacazette and Mustafi. Um, and for us to progress as a team, there are a lot of changes required. We need a right back. Um, we need someone in midfield. We need a replacement for Lacazette. We need a goal scoring midfielder. A lot of changes without really affecting the development of the youth players who are coming through: Nelson, Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe. Willock has been missing. I'm not sure where he is. Guendouzi. So I like the fact that players are standing up and staking a claim for spots. And again, it's early days. I was surprised to see yesterday that people are already getting frustrated with the draws and Arteta and whatnot, which is kind of weird. Um, because people gave Emery a clean slate, and at least in the start, and the first year was anyways going to be a year that people were just going to give him time. Arteta has had a um, much more drastic impact than Emery did. Emery was just, we were seeing things that any normal coach would do, and Wenger didn't do it. And it was hailed as a tactical masterclass, which it wasn't. But anyway, the Lacazette thing, I mean, again, he's just showing that he was the it was I hope it's just a case of bad form more than anything else, because he's clearly putting in the yards. It's not that he's not making the effort; he's still killing himself out there whenever he goes onto the pitch. It's just the goals that need to come. And you're probably right. Maybe it is the same thing that Oba did with Lacazette and with Pepe, just to give them the ball when we're hopefully comfortable, and let them restore some confidence. You're right. Maybe the offside goal that he scored yesterday would inspire some confidence, but I don't know. It's a tough one with Lacazette. Do we keep him in the summer? Do we not keep him? Do we keep Aubameyang, let Lacazette go, invest the money somewhere else? Because clearly now Nketiah is also is there. There are enough and more strikers available for us. Martinelli can play out wide and in the center. Pepe can play out wide in the center. Oba can play out wide in the center. Lacazette is just someone who's just is a pretty static player who can just play that central striker, hold up the ball, and then and not play anywhere else. And Ketia is also a decent option to have. Not that we've seen much of him, but he did pretty okay when he was at Leeds. So I think we're okay. We just need to figure out what to do with him. But you're right. Hopefully that offside goal yesterday, having hit the back of the net, should restore some confidence. I don't know if it will, because the up next two games are going to be tough. Bournemouth away, Burnley away, in the league, and in the FA Cup, and then in the league. But no, I think positive signs overall. I just can't. I just can't seem to bring my head around the fact that we've drawn 12 games. We should have been, for whatever reason, be it referee errors, VAR errors or us just falling asleep at the wrong time. That's a significant portion of points dropped. That's 24 points that could have gone either way. That 24 additional points that could have gone either way that we've just not taken advantage of. Like games like the Sheffield game we should have won, the Palace game we should have won, and so many more games in the last season that we should have just gotten more points. So yeah, it sucks, but it is where we are as a club right now.
See, I don't want to blame the referees or VAR for this, but the three games that you brought up, Crystal Palace, Sheffield, and last night's game, I felt that we were on the wrong end of decisions again. Against Crystal Palace, I remember the build-up to their goal, whoever received the ball was definitely offside. That wasn't checked at all. VAR didn't check that. Against Sheffield, Pepe had a nailed-on penalty which was not given to us. I mean, that was the same sort of decision that went Crystal Palace's way at the Emirates when Zaha took a dive or Zaha was tripped over and they gave the penalty. I don't understand why we weren't given the penalty. So that game, had we got a penalty, there would have been a different outlook. We would have won that game as well. And yesterday, I feel, if you look at the replay closely, I felt that when Tammy Abrahams went across the keeper, he went a little too wide and there was Mustafi covering behind Luis, right? So even if Luis has fouled him, there was a chance that Mustafi, he was if you see the replay again, Mustafi was at the edge of the box, edge of the goal. And he was clearly not, Luis was clearly not the last man. So for us to get a penalty there and get a person sent off, I still feel that we're not getting the rub of the green with the referees. And the decisions that something like a team like Liverpool have been getting that we're not been getting. But there's not really much that we can do about it. I guess that it's just a phase that we're going through where the luck is not on our side, which is what I was talking about yesterday. I said, you know what, we needed that goal that Martinelli scored on the counter where Kante slipped. If you actually see the build up to the goal, Martinelli actually loses control of the ball, and had Kante not slipped, he would have probably intercepted and the attack would have stopped over there. Kante slipped, so that let the ball go ahead of Kante, and then Martinelli could go and coolly slot that in. But that little luck was something that we needed. And then when Azpilicueta went and made it 2-1 in the 86th, 84th or 83rd minute, I was like, this can't be happening, because the team has worked so hard with 10 men to come back. And that would have been it felt like a real sucker punch. But Bellerin coming, you mentioned at the start that everybody's blaming Kepa for not being good enough. I don't think there was much Kepa could do, because Bellerin very smartly used bodies in his way to basically block Kepa's view. And then, he's perfectly bent the ball around everybody and put it into the far corner. It's not something that Kepa can really, it's not his fault that he conceded that goal. It was more something, if you have to blame someone, you probably blame Jorginho for not closing Bellerin down sooner, but that was a great goal as well. So even though it's a draw and a lot of people are saying that Arsenal are celebrating draws, it's a step in the right direction. I feel a draw after yesterday's game, it should unite the team a little more. It should breed some confidence in them, saying that, we've gone to a big stadium, we've gone to a big place. Previously in the past, we'd have gone there, we'd have got rolled over and come. We've gone there with 10 men, played for more than 60 minutes of the game, and we've drawn and come back. And after being 2 goals down, after conceding twice, right? So you're right. This is something I want to see us take into the Bournemouth game, into the FA Cup, which is on Monday. Following that, we go again to Burnley away, which is another tough game. But this is the blueprint we need. We can't revert back to the same old Arsenal. We kind of did against Sheffield. It was at the Emirates. It was one of those games where I felt that the players reverted back to the old Arsenal, where they didn't put pressure, they didn't want to win the ball. Everybody was blaming Ozil again. I see that happening again last night, where they were blaming him again. But the thing is, there's not much he can do in a game like that, where you're playing with 10 men. He does look like a luxury sometimes. But that's the thing, right? Arteta needs to instill this into the team. And I think after yesterday, it will come. It will breed a little more confidence into them and that self-belief, saying that, okay, we can compete and we should be better than where we are right now. So just positive signs. And I have to mention this again, that ice cold finish from Martinelli was outstanding. I thought at one point he would have probably run till there and probably just squared the pass to Pepe, because Pepe managed to keep himself onside and he was absolutely free for a tap in. But the way he took it, I was reading a tweet where it said, had Oba been in that position, would Oba have scored that goal? I don't know if he would. He's obviously a great finisher, but I don't know with the sort of pace that Martinelli had, if Oba would have probably done that as well.
I don't know. I think that's a very different. It's a case of whoever striker in that frame of mind. So I think the comparison should ideally be with someone like Walcott, if Walcott had scored that. If you and I have watched enough of him to know that when he has time on the ball, he invariably misses or he'll shoot straight at the keeper. When he doesn't have time, it's instinctive and he'll finish.
Yeah.
But yesterday, in fact, even just to your point on Kepa being blamed, I don't think Kepa could have done anything about those 2 goals. The first one was, both of them were in fact really well placed.
Yeah.
And to do that on the run, someone who's 18 years old ran almost 2/3 of the length of the pitch. For whatever reason, contest slipping, not slipping, he still had to put the ball away. So I'm really happy that whenever I watch him play, I just see someone who runs his socks off, be it out wide, be it in the center, comes back, receives the ball with his back to goal, just does really well. Yeah, he does it all, and he's just 18. So he's only going to get better. I hope. I'm sure they're going to sign him. I'm sure they're going to extend his contract in the summer because they want to keep him and tie him down.
This is something Arsenal have never done before, where they've actually put release clauses. But I think we should go and insert like a 300 million release clause there, because I'm pretty sure, if not this summer, at least next year, Barca or Real will come sniffing for him. And
yeah, I know it's very. Already I think he's already in double digits for the season.
Yeah, he's the youngest. He's the only 18-year-old to have teenager to have 10 plus goals this season.
Yeah, and what I find really funny is that the fans of these opposition clubs are comparing him to Greenwood and whatnot, and people he's celebrating. Greenwood has done nothing. He's not. This is like a kid from Greenwood's been in England all his life. It's like a kid who's come from Brazil, who in a physical league is just dominated players. He's scoring at the likes of Chelsea, he's scoring away at West Ham in the Europa League, where he just scored some belters. Come on. Greenwood's not even. The fact that you're mentioning Greenwood is just puts down anything and everything that Martinelli's done.
Do you know what's funny? Martinelli had 4 trials at United. United didn't.
Yeah, they're calling him a United reject. He's not a United reject. It's that your guys could not identify talent, which is why you have the likes of Rashford and Lingard, who's still popping and locking at freaking 27 years of age, hasn't had an assist or a goal in over a year, and you want to talk shit about Martinelli? Get the fuck out.
Just another brief point that you spoke about. Now that Luis has a I don't know if it's a 3-game suspension or if it's just a 1-game suspension.
I think it'll be. I think the direct straight red. I think it'll probably be 3 game.
No, but
No,
I
well,
think
actually, might just be one. Might just be
yeah,
one for non-violent. Yeah,
yeah, they rescinded that.
yeah.
So
Might just be one. Yeah.
he misses the game. So possibly then again we have Mustafi starting in defense because unless Socrates comes back in, and if Rob Holding is fit enough to play, we probably might see Mustafi in again. There were very strong rumors again today that we were linked with Jerome Boateng, and because Bayern's already gone and signed a defender, so they were saying that that's probably Boateng to Arsenal done. Would you be happy with that?
I mean, Boateng in the German league has been great. I think my only memory of Boateng was when he got spun by Messi, and I think that will remain.
I think
That
that day has tarnished Boateng's legacy because
No, I don't deny how good he is. I'm not debating that at all. I think he's been great for Bayern and for Germany otherwise. But um, my whenever Boateng is mentioned, I can only think of that spin. He spun like a top completely by Messi. But I mean, jokes apart.
to be fair, a lot of players have been spun like a top by Messi.
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, I don't deny that, but I don't know. I think. I think it'll be a good makeshift signing. I don't know if he's a solution to our problem. I think a loan would probably suit both parties as opposed to someone permanent. Because in the summer we have Saliba coming in, who's coming back.
Currently at Arsenal with another injury. He's been injured 4 times this year already.
Yeah, I think he's been injury prone. I think he was back at Arsenal. I think visiting this over the last 10 days or so just to.
No, he's back again for the injury. He'd gone back to.
Yeah, so I think he's fit now. I don't know. There's something I forget what the status, but I think if I remember last thing I read was he back at Arsenal and he was back running or something. He signed a professional deal with Nike is what the last update also I read of his was. So which means that they think there's talent there to have signed up a player like him so young to be associated with a brand already. And he's done decently from what I've just read people talk about him, not watched him play. Not to say that he's the answer to our problems and he's going to become the next, I don't know, next great thing since sliced bread for us. But I think there's a drastic overhaul that's required in major portions of the club. We thought the left back position was fixed, and Tierney who's also been injury prone. Was signed, and I thought it was a good signing for us. We need a proper replacement for Bellerin. Who seems to have sort of stagnated. I don't know if he will want to stick. I think he probably will stick around.
No, but Bellerin was given the captain's armband yesterday, and he looked. I mean,
no, I'm not debating that. I'm just saying, just in terms of, I understand he's had injuries over the last year. Has been tough for him, but
we need cover there.
Yeah, we need cover there because Niles, while he's done a fabulous job, is not really a right back, and of course he wants to play in that position. Then it's fine. But I think we need a right back. We need a winger. We need a centre midfielder. We need a centre half. Someone who we need like a proper monster of a centre half who just dominates like a Van Dijk does for Liverpool. And I know it's the Liverpool comparison is not something we should be making because Liverpool, I think in their worst time had a better squad than we do currently.
That's not actually true. If you see it's that fans are getting impatient now, but Jurgen Klopp has taken 4 years to get to where he is. And in that 4 years, he's spent and he's built a team with a lot of investment. Like Alisson was a 75 million keeper.
Just a keeper, yeah.
Yeah. Van Dijk was an 85 million defender. Right? So he spent a lot of money. And you have to realize that when Jurgen Klopp came in the first season, he finished 8th. Right? So it's going to take some time. Like now that we know that Arteta could be the right person, you've got to give him some time. And the fact that the board backed Emery and gave him so much money this summer, we need the board to show that sort of intent again and give Arteta that sort of backing. Right? Because I feel that if we don't give him the sort of backing again, then we're going to be not even stagnant, we're going to regress. The fact that we're 10th this year, we might be 14th next year. Because every team around us is building, every team around us is strengthening, every team around us seems to be getting better and better. And either we play it smart by going out and finding the gems before they become world-class players, or we have to show intent in the market and say that, listen, this is what we need to go and get them. Right? You go and you talk about a player like Van Dijk, the only player right now in the market who is that star value, who is the level of Van Dijk, I can only think about is Koulibaly. And I think the whole world is after Koulibaly. Like from your Barcelona to Real Madrid to Manchester United to Chelsea to PSGs, everybody in the world is going to be in for him, right? So it's not going to be easy signing him at all. So we have to look at the approach, like we're going and finding gems like Martinelli, like Saliba. Okay, Saliba's untested, but like Guendouzi. But the thing is, we've got to be patient with these guys. We know that they've got potential to become great, but it's going to take them time. They're not going to be the finished article. So we're going to have to play it smart. Like even Jurgen Klopp didn't get everything in one window. He made, like, Alisson was bought in a different window. Van Dijk was bought in a different window. Salah was bought in a different window, right? So he's taken time to build his team as well. And look at the way they're playing. They played 24 games and I think they've drawn one game. This season, I think they're going to not only win the league, they probably smash the invincible record. They're going to probably smash the 49 beaten record.
I mean, to be fair, Ashwin, I mean, can you really complain if a team like this just dominates in today's day and age? No, I don't think so. I mean,
no, I see. Whatever said and done, however crap the Premier League has been this year, and however bad the bigger sides have been, it's still the toughest league in the world. And for them to dominate the way they have is commendable.
So my view on the Invincibles, we would be the only Invincible that is going to get cracked soon, is that we were the first team to do it, and I'd rather have someone like a Liverpool who've actually built their team as opposed to being financed by the bottomless pits of Arabian owners. I'd rather have that the case than City fans. And quite honestly, I don't know why there is so much like people don't like Liverpool or Liverpool fans for however they may behave on Twitter, however they may be or they may not be. I think I'd rather see Liverpool win it than any of the Manchester clubs. So I can't wait to see how pissed off and sour the United fans will be once Liverpool finally lifts the trophy, because there's only one away, and I'm sure the way that they're going to dominate for at least another few years.
3-4 years.
Klopp isn't going anywhere soon. Their board and management is very invested in success of the club, and I'm pretty sure you're going to start seeing it. I think they're going to start replacing their players very soon. They're not going to stick around and sit on their laurels. They'll go and looking at improving this team, because this team lost by a point last season. Now they're going to walk away with almost close to 6. I think they have a game in hand as well.
They have 2 games in hand. They play tonight, and they have 2 games in hand.
So that's what. So if they win both games, they're already 16. That's 22 points ahead.
19 points. Yeah. That's it.
If they win the next 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, if they win the next 2 games, that is what? I'm pretty sure that's 22 points ahead. That they're on.
No, 19.
Yeah, they're on 60. They're on 13, 19 points ahead. That's ridiculous. And with 13 games to go after this, it's done. I mean, if it wasn't done then, it definitely is done now. So
which is what I think I was watching something very interesting where they were talking about, in the next maybe 2 or 3 games, Liverpool could probably tie up the title, right? And then focus on the Champions League and the FA Cup. Who's to know that they're not going to do a clean sweep of the trophies in England?
Oh yeah, no doubting that. I mean, imagine Klopp winning the treble in England, and just if nothing, I'll just piss off United fans even more. So I mean, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see Goldbridge ranting and just losing his shit on YouTube.
No, but to be fair, they deserve it. They play the right brand of football. Like you mentioned, they've not been. I mean, even though they have owners who've invested, American owners who've invested significant amount of money, it's not been, their success has not been bought like the way City and Chelsea's has been. So yeah, I think you respect Liverpool more than you respect something like a City or what Chelsea do. But that's the blueprint, man. Like they are the team to catch. They are the team to be like. I have no words. Like I was watching the Liverpool Man United game, and I know this is an Arsenal podcast, but that even though they won 2-0 and it was 1-0 till the 93rd minute and Salah made it 2-0 in the 94th. They had 4 or 5 chances in the first half where they cut United through like a hot knife through butter. Like it's so easily, like they hit the post. and Salah missed like a tap in, and they made United look so mediocre, and it just shows the gulf in class between what a great team is today versus what the rest of us are today.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think they're just a well-oiled machine right now. Just it's like a juggernaut, just win after win after win. And I think I was reading somewhere it said by March is when they should wrap up the title. I mean, for sure, if this run continues. So yeah, I mean, good for them.
All right,
Um,
just before we pack up, I
yeah,
got one last question for you. Will Liverpool go unbeaten? Will they break our invincible record? And will they pass the 49 unbeaten record as well?
that's not one question. That's more than one question. Will they go unbeaten? Yeah, it seems very likely.
Mm-hmm.
Would it upset me that they've gone unbeaten
Third last game of the
on a
season,
record?
they come to the Emirates.
No, so I think they probably would have already
Yeah, they probably win
wrapped
the
it up
league
by
there,
then.
but you think
Will they go unbeaten? Probably as of this point. 14 games to go. I don't think they've got very many big guns to play. I think only City have to come to Liverpool. I think,
exactly.
or they have to, or Liverpool have to go away. I don't know. Um, they look on target to go unbeaten. Definitely. Will they break? Will they go past 49 games? Yeah, I mean, I don't see what's stopping them as of this point. A free clause here and there, maybe. But that free clause will just it's like they'll be like, you don't piss off a cornered cat or a cornered tiger. That's just gonna enrage them even more and just help them push on even more. Do I honestly care that that record is going to be broken? No, because it will be. Just the way how sports teams are these days, every record is there for the taking. It's just a matter of just finding that flow, which is why I think that we can still qualify for Europe. It's just a matter of winning a few games, because everyone is pretty much dropping points.
Mhm.
We just need to go on that quick run. Uh, a few short games, win 3 in a row, 4 in a row, and then again we go back to drawing games. It's fine, but it's there for the taking still. We're running out of time, but I still think we can at least make it top half, assuming that happens soon.
Yeah, I think that's the only hope. I think top was gone. Anyway, on that, I think that's we got to end the show today. We'll come back with the preview for the FA Cup game, say on maybe like a Saturday or Sunday. But thanks, Amrit. Thanks for coming on the show, and I mean, I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah.
It was hectic doing the solo show.
Yeah, thanks, Ashwin. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as Ashwin said right at the start, socials are below. We're on Twitter at the Arsenal Way, on Facebook as well. And just click the bell icon to get notified whenever we launch, put out a new video. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next one.
All right, thanks, guys.